Bertie mentioned she went to the protest center. So did you guys film her going to the protest area and decide not to use the footage, or
no, we didn't know. Well, of course, these girls go to all kinds of things and wouldn't inform us, you know.
I have no idea the inspector is one of your classmates. Mabel, can you there was a link of the girls, the two sides of the protest, right? The madam and Bertie on different side of kind of Hong Kong society, and then you have the madam first female inspector from Yinghua, which is now I know your classmate. So you arranged that. So yeah, talk a little bit about that. Continue what you said.
So she's one of my best friends, and actually she has emigrated to Australia. But when she came back, I said, you have to talk to my students.
I see.
Because now they have this argument about whether they should occupy
she
Central
already Australia, and then she thought she came back to Hong Kong for fun, but then she forgot.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she's also my classmate.
Yes,
so she has to come to talk to the girls, and I didn't know what they were going to talk about, but it's interesting that I didn't know that one Bertie is for the movement, and Madam, of course, she's against it. And since Madam really wants to be a police inspector, so I thought my friend can help her to sort out their thoughts and maybe, from a CJ point of view, give them some advice.
See the elderly love thing, advice of the whole situation, right?
Right.
I think your inspector passed me. I forgot her name. Spoke some
very
Sheila. Yeah.
Sheila. The daughter of the Si Hang Gong.
Yeah.
You can call her Si Hang Gong個女.
Right. Almost everyone forgot now, except the director Mabel, and which makes her character so much more interesting. This is the joy of the director. So on that, I want to ask, Bertie mentioned she went to the protest center. So did you guys film her going to the protest area and decide not to use the footage, or
no, we didn't know. Well, of course, these girls go to all kinds of things and wouldn't inform us, you know, especially when they go to very controversial things that they would not inform us. I mean, even if I film it, I don't know whether I should show it though. I mean, for all the movements they go to, first of all, they wouldn't inform us, and second of all, if that involves them, may get them into trouble, then we have to think about it.
Right. That's exactly what a responsible director, documentary director would think. I mean, it's not just, wow, I got a great footage and let's use it. Yeah, that's kind of not good. But then you think about what needs to be shown on tell the story, or what shouldn't. Yeah. So you would think about it. But
yeah, that's not important, because I think our theme is on the growing up of the girls, and and all the social movements are things in the background, and we have to show it so we know what kind of situation they were facing. But then it is not the main theme of our documentary.
Right. So it's never, in a sense, you don't. It's not because of the censor and whatnot.
No, I never thought about that. I put all the things I want, and I think everything. Actually, I didn't self-censor. I put everything in the film as what I think should be in the film, and I put the proportion of things as I think is right. And I always put the characters in the foreground, because it's a human story. And I think that all the girls are the most important part of the component, and all the social events or whatever, the parents or the school, they are all, and the rebuilding of the campus are all the things that accompany their growth, and it should be a little bit in the background.
In the background, right. The stars are really, truly the girls, the human interest story, and the rest, including the school itself. Like I was
the school itself. Yeah, and the growth and changing of the campus is very much in the background.
Right. Well, it's there, yeah.
There's it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of an architectural geek, right? So I was really looking for a lot of footage of the beautiful campus, and I have to actually go YouTube searching, and then they have footage. But that's where I think those footage are for, right? The documentary on the lot more importance on the girl. So there's a scene about I'm going to jump to those things especially I love. So there was a scene about, I think it's Xiu Feng vice principal again, talking about there's a school and then a high school, and then when they finish school and they have a book burning and that really, what's the word, breaks my heart into a million pieces, right? And that's why I kind of do not like, I cannot use more stronger words, I maybe hate. I don't like Hong Kong education system. Like, how did that drive, right? The education, the purpose is to learn. Like, you think you get a piece of paper and then that's it. So in that context, like, can you elaborate a little bit more? Like, what was the surrounding? Was it the DSE, setting the DSE in context? What was your thinking of putting that part in? I love that quote, by the way, from Xiu Feng.
Yeah, of course, the DSC is a very important part of their secondary education, and they have to got the grades to get into university, and that's inevitable that they have to face this challenge. But in our school, they didn't concentrate on marks and gradings. I think our school, and I think education should concentrate on the building up of a character, of giving them inspiration to explore what they really like, and not to say, you have you are number one in the class, or you are the last in the class. So in our school, even back in my days, they never tell you how you stand in the class. 即係冇考第幾㗎 ，never
冇 rank 㗎。有第啲女校有 rank 㗎嚇，即係你合格晒先。You pass all grades, pass all subjects, then you have a rank, and then you miss one subject, then you have no rank. So in 英華
no, in our class they never said this one is number one, number two, number three.
Really?
There's no ranking. They only encourage those people, the first 5 ones or something, or 10 who had done very good in that subject, and then they were given some award. But then other than that, you never know where you stand in the whole class.
Really?
Or even if you come the last, nobody would know. And even if you're the first in the class, nobody would know. So everybody is quite easygoing on the grades, and they you will not be hurt by, I mean, if you're last or
yeah. I never understand like what's the purpose of ranking first to last. Then like this is a school, right? You're teaching kids, right? So the last kid, like you're dropping him or her out, then ignoring him. Like,
they will feel so sad, you know. If you come last, and what you do, I mean, you have no face to face the other people. Anyway, that's the tradition of Yinghua. And and we don't, you know, create many 嗰啲叫狀元啊 in the DSE or even in
A's and everything, like you rank, right?
5 stars or 5 plus stars and 5星星 and all those things. It's not the important issue in our school. Even back in my days, we didn't try to achieve academic excellency that much. I mean, of course, we tried our best, but also it's like an all-round education for children.
Right. And
so that's why our vice principal said this DSE is like distorting the whole education system. And so there's this book burning ceremony after they finished DSE, and everybody was very happy to throw the books out and burn them. That's why she said that.
Right. I mean, to me, a good school should also instill the love of learning, right? Love of learning is what something that lasts you for a lifetime. Like specific knowledge fade out, even not only at secondary level, which is nothing, but at university level, right? I mean, like your bachelor, it doesn't get you to specific knowledge. I mean, it go out of date a few years. So it's kind of tough to see. So I want to talk a little bit about the bicycle rider.
Jenny.
Right. So Jenny broke the tradition a bit, and then took time off to do racing, right? Was it groundbreaking in a sense for the school or for her, or
Well, actually, our school is very flexible in and allowing people to pursue their dreams. So it's only her parents who was really concerned, because parents are always concerned. I mean, if you follow this sportsman's career, then it's very dangerous. That one day, if you cannot achieve get to the achievement, like Lei Weixi, what's her name, Sally. Anyway, that's a very famous cyclist in Hong Kong who won all the major
Olympic
competitions.
Gold, yeah.
And of course, if you are like her, then the parents will encourage you to follow your love and your career. But then there's a choice between academic achievement and your love in life. Then they started to hesitate.
Right. So there's a particular scene about and to me, a great documentary invites commentaries and invites comments and sometimes even critiques. So there's a particular scene about Madam, and then her answer to the question posed as 權力. And then some people took it as, and this and that, especially as if they don't like people, police or the government and whatnot, and that becomes something for her. So example like that and whatnot, would it make it hard for Madam or other subjects? Like, for example, the other thing is, like, for example, the nickname Miss Hong Kong, that they was cute at the time, but then later years it's like, this documentary, Miss Hong Kong. So how that, do you want to comment on the documentary's impact on the interviewees in general? Sorry, confusing. I hope my questions are not too confusing.
Let me put it this way. I think, of course, when they look back at the past, there are something they regretted they have said, and there are things that they are very uncomfortable about. But we try to talk to them, and gradually they accepted their past. And it is important that they accepted themselves as what they are. And that's the beginning of the next stage of life, that no matter whether you want to Miss Hong Kong, of course, now she can beautiful enough to be a Miss Hong Kong, but she doesn't want it anymore.
Right. And what they are and what they were at different stage, right? So I think, I don't know if you agree, and maybe you have comments. Like, sometimes documentary viewers, us looking at the film, you see a different spot, and then you make a big thing, make a mountain out of a molehill, a small thing out of a big thing, out to a big thing. And it's so unfair, right? I mean, they share their life and at different age. Like, if you ask me, like, when I were at their age, I say stupider things 10,000 times than they did, right? My advantage is I don't have a camera recording that. And What do you want to comment?
But actually, I think people, the audience has been very kind to them. I have never seen any harsh criticism on these girls and how or saying how stupid they were and what they said was nonsense and wishful thinking. Nothing. Actually, on all, I don't know whether maybe there are some, but on all the reviews or comments I've read, I've never read anything harsh on the girls. They all, I think the audience really like them and they and appreciate their courage to share their stories.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Right. So, speaking about the audience, you have many screenings now, right? And many of them have Q&A that comes after. So, what are some of the questions that you remember, and then the answers you gave, or the interviewees gave some of the very precious answers? Questions and
it's like they ask questions like more or less like yours. So I don't know. I have answered so many questions, but I have never spoken about my friendship with the madam, my classmates, who is a 師坑公個女, and how she got bullied during our time because the girls do not like her living in a toilet.
Yeah, which is sad. I mean,
yeah.
She grew up to be a great, well, accomplished person, right?
But she is never, she never felt inferior. She's a very courageous girl. And she said, she went to the headmaster and told her that, headmistress, and told her that my class, there's all run away from me. When I tried to talk to them, they wouldn't talk to me. And she complained. And the headmistress went to our class and talked to everybody and said, you should not do that to your fellow students. And yes, she's very courageous, and she stand up for herself. So I really admire her. I went to play in her residence, the top floor of the toilet, and it's really nice. Yeah, it's very spacious.
Right. And you were like that then and now, right? All throughout. I think I heard from the interviews that you grew up not very rich, and then in fact your father passed
actually poor.
early.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So yes, yeah. I think. Oh, from that I feel like then my childhood and my youth, I faced many challenges and a lot of setbacks, and that made me strong, actually. And now I can face a lot of challenges without feeling too upset. And that's what I feel for this generation of people, the young girls I filmed, and also from the comments of their own of their generation of audience. They also felt that they have to face such turbulent years in their life, the 10 years of their lives when they are growing up. But I think that is, in hindsight, you feel that that's very good for them, because they are not like flowers living in a grass room, and they would grow up to be strong, and they have already faced all kinds of challenges and have to make a lot of decisions in life, whether to stay or to go, whether to jump in or to stay back, all kinds of decisions in their teens. So I think this generation of young people would grow up to be very strong. I mean, if they can survive it, they would become very strong, and they would do very incredible, amazing things to help society, to help Hong Kong. And I'm so happy to see some of their writings in the Facebook or Instagram. And the writing is really good, very good piece of essay. I
would love to read some
reflection,
of them.
reflection on their life. And I think just at 23, and now, I mean, they're born in 2000. At 23, they have written. Maybe I'll show you later.
Yeah. I'd love to read some
very good writing on reflection on their life. And I really admire them.
I truly love to read them because I've been doing a lot of research and reading a whole bunch of things. So let me jump to talk a little bit about your career. In fact, branch on your upbringing, right? So in fact, your upbringing leads you to make the first three drama that you make, the 移民三部曲. The first film from it's kind of your student film, and then you met Mona, Fong Yat-hua, and then got funded for $1 million, and I think your classmate
only 1 million.
Only 1 million Hong Kong dollar only, but that's a
not
lot. Not
only, but a lot of money for a student film. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of money, and at that time, right? And that's many years ago. 1 million, it's Hong Kong dollar, which is a lot of money. So you had your classmate, I think the fellow student from Taiwan, be the lead, and then make 非法移民, right? That was 非法移民. And then the second film was which is a movie that I love. And by the way, during the research, I got to see clips of the three films as you and Alex shown them. But on 秋天的童話, which I love dearly. And then I realized from watching the interviews of that you did, then it's from Cao Pei Ling, which leads you to create a character, which lead Alex to create you and Alex to create a character of Sun Tao-chek. And then I loved that so much. And then obviously in the same interview, I heard the combination of interviews, Cao Pei Ling passed away. So I've never got a chance to meet Cao Pei Ling, the inspiration for Sun Tao-chek. Can you talk a little bit about, like, you guys are so close and so many years later, like 即係長情啊，即係廣東話叫做係友情長情咁耐。Did you ever, was he a type
You mean me and Cao Pei Ling, or me and Alex Law?
Yeah,
Cao Pei Ling.
You and Cao Pei Ling. I'll talk about Alex too. But you and Cao Pei Ling are so close in friendship. And then like the jobs that he created for you and Alex, he and other the rental place. And did you ever get to thank him, or did he just implicitly know that he played a role in your and Alex's film career and he just pleased with it without needing to say a word? Can you talk a little bit about Cao Pei Ling?
I met these guys, all the illegal immigrants and the mafia guys. I mean, in Chinatown, New York, when I was studying at NYU. And because I had no money, actually, I went to NYU without money. So I didn't know how to pay my school fees or nothing. But then since I was accepted by the NYU, which is a very good film school, I thought, and also I loved New York. So I thought maybe I just go there to have a good time.
Right.
And when I have some fun. And while I was there, I thought, maybe I can earn some money so I can stay. So I went to the Chinatown to find a job. And Chinatown is very small. And when you were in a foreign country, suddenly you find all these people with black hair and yellow skin. You feel very attached to them. Although in Hong Kong you wouldn't go to Mongkok and try to talk to
make friends with mafia.
to the mafia guy.
But then Hong Kong girls, no.
I never go to Mongkok and be friends with all those illegal immigrants, right? But in New York, you become friends very easily because all the 咩同是天涯淪落人咁樣嗰啲。Okay, so that's a good thing because I broke all the boxes surrounding me, and I was able to make friends with these guys with an open heart. And they actually, although Cao Raincoat Lemon. He's an illegal immigrant, and also he worked for the mafia guy, part-time. but he's actually a very good person. I mean, when he's not doing all those funny things, he's a very, very caring and a very funny guy, and that's why I wrote Sam Penn's character based on him as a prototype. And
person at the core, right? On the outside, he may do some funny things, and
also on the outside, he's not as handsome as Chow Yun-fat. Of course, he's like a raincoat lemon, and you can imagine from his nickname. But he's very funny. He's very intelligent, and if he had better time, I mean, if he's not that. He didn't grow up in China during the Cultural Revolution, and if he were as lucky as we are, then he would be a very important person, studying all the major degrees. I'm sure he would be a very successful person in life. But then, everybody has their fate, and so it's a pity. But then he knew that we were making a film based on him, and he wasn't quite happy that we used Chow Yun-fat as the actor. Because
I highly recommend the interview that I watched. Everyone should watch it, and I'll link it to that. But I want to focus on the bit, so he has such a big influence in a sense, at least in the beginning, and for 秋天的童話 for you and Alex. Did you and Alex specifically thank him, or it's understood? He is not
we don't have to thank him because we were friends. So you don't thank you. Oh, thank you, friend, because we were truly friends, and we go to places together. I took him to watch some of the art house film because I thought that was category three film with all the sex scene. I thought maybe he likes it. Maybe he likes it, right? But he was so pissed that he said, "How come you film students watch this kind of film?" I said, "This is an art film." He said,
really? He doesn't like the sex scene.
He went away. He went away and thought this is really vulgar, and he's so like sweet. That. So and later he went because of some he went to prison anyway in Canada, in Kingston. Maybe you know that place, Kingston.
Yes,
it's very nice.
Kingston, Ontario.
And some so we because all his fellow gangsters cannot go because they search their records, and those with those who are gangsters were not allowed to visit him. So Alex and I were the only people who get the permission to visit Chow Pi.
Oh, you did visit Chow Pei too? Yeah, Chow Pei.
Yeah, of course we went to visit him because he's friend. So it's a very long way from Toronto, we have to drive 2 hours to go to Kingston and watch and to visit him
for an hour, half an hour, right? Short
something like that. So we are good friends, and we went to that prison, and we were really happy for him because that if you have to go to a prison, you have to go to prison in Canada. Because that is a really beautiful, nice with a glass rooftop and the sunlight coming in, and you get the chance to learn the computer and painting. I still have his painting with me. He gave us his painting, which he painted in prison, and by that time he has already become a big boss in the prison because he had the gamble. They gamble with the cigarettes. And he has already won a large number of cigarettes. So he became the boss, and he can order his fellow prisoner to say, "Oh, well, we want to take a picture, the three of us." So he paid them 2 cigarettes, and we got our picture taken. And they call him Mr. Lau.
Wow, that's so
he was
cool.
much respected in prison, and he became a big boss. So we were happy for him. And so he, in any place he go, he can become the big boss. And he has such charisma that people respected him. And he's so funny that although he do not know English, he can communicate in his strange, I told Otto, yes, talk, talk, Otto, no talk. And people gradually get to understand. I'm not yellow cow. And if there's raining, you say, outside water, delete la. So it's raining very hard outside, things like that. So he's a great character. And we were friends. Actually, I never thank him. I don't think we said, thank you, Chow Pi.
But like you said, right, Mabel,
but he knew
between friendship. So Mabel, I'm very respectful of your time. So I only have like 11 minutes left. So I'm going to maybe send some question to you later, but I really want to ask you this, and if you don't mind trying to answer. So I'm truly saddened that Alex passed away. I wish I have more time to ask about the creative process that you guys have. Maybe it's hard to ask that kind of question in a list of questions, but I may follow up with some other questions. But for this specific questions, I do want to ask. So you and Alex have such a wide, long creative careers. Have you ever thought of, this is where it comes from. So in Canada, we have Margaret Atwood, which is a famous author, writer of, I think, Handmaid's Tale, amongst other things. So she's still active. She donated like 700 boxes of her works to University of Toronto, the Art Research Library, for public access. So even I can go in, log onto the system and read some of her childhood writing or the manuscript of Handmaid's Tale. So my question to you is, I'm truly saddened that Alex has passed away, but have you and Alex thought about donating your creative archive to maybe University of Hong Kong or other places for prosperity and research, open research?
We don't have an archive ourselves because, we are free-spirited and we never keep any record of what we have done except on film. So I can donate all my films to, actually they are all, you can all watch it. And that's the bulk of our
drafts of, let's say different drafts of scripts or memoirs.
That I have already donated to the film archive and also the
so your work in progress
history, the art museum. And because when we started off, everything was handwritten. And our scripts were handwritten, and we have donated all the handwritten scripts to different archives. And I'm going to donate all my awards soon to the archives, which I still keep in my house. And
your writings, if I remember right, Alex talked about he still have many different works, like I think he writes books and stuff, different scripts that he was working on, or except the one that you're going to make next, obviously, but the things that he has written or partially written but never made it to film. Have you thought of even donating those?
Donating those? Yeah, if people are interested. But then,
I think we
have over the years we have written about 20 scripts which were never made because either it is too expensive to make, or either the topics the financier do not find interesting. So we have 20 scripts in our drawer which were never made. I
think those
if people are interested,
but I as a creative person would love to reach. I mean, hopefully it's digitized and it's easily accessible and everything.
Digitized. Then we have to find person to type it out.
No, Mabel, not you digitized. Whoever received your donation, they would have to do the work. It's their job. I'm sure.
I don't know. I think the next film I made, obviously you have read, is about the 10.
And Hong Kong you first doctor.
Not Hong Kong U, actually. The Hong Kong U wasn't hasn't started yet. It is 香港西醫學院 the
西醫學院
school for Western medicine.
Right.
The first 10 students, medical students for that school. But then we are also trying to make a book on his writings in 信報英文叫咩？
信報 Yeah, I know 信報 HK Hong Kong Economic Journal, right?
Not Economic Journal. 嗰個係經濟日報啫，信報 anyway 信報。As he has written articles for 信報for quite some time, and so they are going to collect all his writings, and they have asked me to also write my corresponding articles for his each episode or each article of his writing. So if he's writing about his he as a young boy living in Sam Shui Po, I can write about me as a young girl living in 醫院道
I see.
near my school, things like that. So we are working on that too.